Production company, so it's very special. I'd also like to thank Lee Jameson for organising this afternoon. This is okay, so without further ado, Olli would like to talk to you about his success in animation, also about a Nickelodeon competition that's open for everybody to start.
Okay, that's the most enthusiastic welcome I've ever had anywhere, which is amazing. So, this way of doing it now. This could take all day. So, I'm Olli Hyatt. I'm the Managing Director of Blue Zoo. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I got to where I was, because probably about 20 years ago now I was sat where you are, thinking about what I'm going to do with my life. I'm not particularly intelligent, can't really write. I can draw a bit and I like acting. I'm originally from Stratford-upon-Avon, so you have to like acting, it's law. So in A-levels, I did theatre studies, art history and advanced MBQ in art and design, which basically meant I spent my entire time painting, sketching, acting, messing about, really. My mum would call it probably messing around. I didn't. So I spent 2 years doing that. It was the best time of my life. And after that, I managed to get onto an animation course at Bournemouth, which I thought was ideal because acting, very hard job, high risk of being unemployed for a long time, not much money. Fine art, very hard job, high risk of being unemployed for a long time. But somewhere in the middle of fine art and acting is animation, and that seemed like a more stable career choice at the time. So I got into Bournemouth, worked really hard, and one of the key things to me having any success is that I work really hard. But because it's something I enjoy, it's drawing pictures, then I don't mind working really hard at it. So I started Blue Zoo in 2000, and so we've been going about 14 years. Started very small, just 3 of us straight out of uni with no business experience, and we just learnt it all as we went. The way our industry's gone over the years, when we started out, it's just when they introduced CBeebies. The CBeebies channel was brand new, satellite TV was brand new, Freeview was brand new, so they needed loads of content. And they needed it fast and cheap. 3 students straight out of uni, we were literally working out of a shed in Southend. So we could produce that for them. So it's a really good time to get into doing animation. Everyone needed loads of stuff. There wasn't enough people to make it, so it was a great time. Then what happened is, over the years, budgets got smaller, and overseas they started offering tax incentives to do animation work overseas. So gradually it got harder and harder to do work in this country. So when I first started talking at universities and colleges, I was saying, animation's brilliant, get into it, there's loads of work, set your own companies up, don't listen to other people, do your own thing, you'll sell work. Then we lost all our work overseas, so I was telling people, don't do animation, it's terrible, we've got no work, don't do that. And then just recently, 2 things have happened. One, lots of stuff going online, lots of tablets, lots of apps to be made. So that started picking things up again about 4 years ago. And also, fortunately, we've now been given a tax break so we can compete with these other countries. So over the last, I've just been doing the research, over the last 3 years, our industry has doubled in size, which is just unbelievable really from where we were. So it's really positive times to be thinking about doing animation. That tax break's not going to go away quickly, so hopefully by the time you guys have done uni, I mean some of you can do animation without even going to uni, you can do like more of an apprenticeship thing, but by the time you guys go through uni there should be plenty of jobs. In fact, the government is so worried about there being not enough people to do animation, they're putting funding into promoting animation skills through a thing called Skill Set. So we actually get help to train people up, which is good. It's kind of like an apprenticeship scheme. So Blue Zoo, I'll stop talking for a bit and show you some stuff. Maybe. So what you see there is a mixture of all the sorts of work we do, which I'm going to talk you through later. Just so you know who we sort of work for. First of all, our very first job was for CBeebies, which I bet you'll watch, so it's going to feel really old. Storymakers Blue Cow. So yeah, I mean, when we started up, we obviously didn't have much money, so it was the three of us sat around three computers. For Blue Cow, we literally did everything ourselves, from scripting to doing. I did the audio track for it originally, so we couldn't afford headphones because we were so poor. So while we were timing our animation, I had my dulcet voice coming out of 3 machines around me, and that lasted for 6 months, so you can imagine that was fairly annoying. So these are all the people from doing Blue Cow. We started picking up more and more children's work. We never intended to be a children's animation company. We had grand visions of being sort of in the advertising world, or maybe even the film, but because we started with a children's job, Disney started to notice us, Cartoon Network. We got more and more into the children's side of stuff. Some of the other more corporate clients you can see on there, we do some advertising for, or corporate work. More and more of these big companies like Shell are spending tons and tons of money on animation to do boring things, usually boring things like health and safety videos, but they try and make them fun with animation. What I'm going to show you now is our current show. The last thing was just sort of a summer teaser. Okay, so that's how we sell ourselves. And all the stuff you saw there falls into one of 3 categories. This is kind of boring but very important, because where we've survived, where other animation companies have gone wrong, is that we diversify across several things. So we do long form production, which is the kind of Q Poodles or Olives of this world. They're shows that can take us up to 2 years to make. While we've got a job going through the studio for 2 years, that means that we're secure as a company. When things got a bit bleak for the long form series, because we're all going overseas, we were doing what we call creative services, which is the other stuff, work for hire, adverts, mostly in the children's arena, so still adverts for Lego and stuff like that. And then the third thing we're doing more recently is IP development. So a lot of the long form stuff we end up doing, like Olli the Ostrich, we did a show called Those Scurvy Rascals, a thing called Stitch Up Showdown. All those things come out of our studio. We own the IP in that, so if ever any of them sell and make loads of money through toys and things like that, that's when we get rich, hopefully. Yeah. So that's the real way to earn money in animation. You keep your company going with services, and then hopefully one of your programs takes off, like Peppa Pig. And the guys from Peppa Pig, the nicest guys in the world, had to mortgage their own house to make that show because no one would buy it, and now they will never have to work again, ever. Which is fair enough. They're nice guys and they work hard, they deserve it. So you guys know what we're working on. So when you're looking at universities, what software to work on, we mostly work in Maya, which is that one at the end, and we composite in After Effects, and we edit in Final Cut. That hasn't changed for 14 years, and we don't see it changing very soon. But have a look at the whole range of packages. There's more that come out all the time. We have to constantly stay on top of it. So these are the long form shows I was talking about. Long form shows, all these different things. Some of them are our own ideas. Alpha Blocks we own, Stitch Up we own. Digby's a new show we're making now, which we own. Tree Food Tom we make for the BBC, And Cuboozle 5 we make for a company called Snapper Productions, although we help get that from concept stage, which I'll show you. So the original 2D pictures into 3D. We work with a lot of illustrators to make their work in 3D. And once we've done that process, it ends up looking like this. Ready, Upsy?
I think so.
They're scared of something.
Oh, you're so brave.
This is more of we're trying to get into films now, so we've tried to put together more of a filmic showreel, which this is. And then just after this, this is a test we're putting together for a film we're hoping to animate next year with Stephen Fry's company. It's just a really quick test. So that's sort of where we're at as a company at the moment. We've got about 120 employees. Next year, if everything goes to plan, we'll have about 180, which is mind-boggling. It was so nice when we were small, when there's just like, I think the optimum number was about 16, you knew everyone's name, you'd all go down the pub. Now I sometimes walk into work and accuse people of trying to rob us because I know who they are, and then they tell me they work for me. And I'm like, oh, okay, sorry. One thing I'm going to talk to you about here, because it's a small opportunity, it is an opportunity, it's very hard. It's very hard to get any show made when you're an unknown in animation, but something that Nickelodeon do every year, and they make about 10 or 20 of these a year, is a shorts program. So you send in a limited amount of information. Companies like ours that have loads of money, have money, and have a lot of professionals sat around, can make big glossy brochures. I've got some examples of them here. I'm going to show you a bit of one later. But essentially, they like to find new talent. The point of these things is to find new talent. So it's just as open to you guys who can just draw some pictures. If you've got ideas, especially for the sort of, what I call tween audience, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've got funny ideas, funny characters, in an unusual situation. What people are always looking out for is that unusual world. So for example, SpongeBob, a really unusual world set underwater, he can pull himself apart. So they're looking for new, fresh ideas, new, fresh talent. So, got a list of sort of things here that you'll need to do, and I'll show you an example of something we pitched in one year to Nickelodeon, not in their shorts program, but it worked in exactly the same way. So things your pitch must include: concept treatment. Usually the shorter the better. If it takes you 2 pages to explain your idea, it's probably a too complicated idea for an 11-minute cartoon. So really short description. Character descriptions, designs with written descriptions preferred. So really put all your effort. They want to see what it looks like, and they want to see that the characters look funny on their own. So designs, written description, what your characters like, what don't they like. They usually prefer 1 or 2 characters. So you usually have to do that famous sort of comedy double act. One has something that's completely opposite the other one, and how they clash. Like it's like things like Pinky and the Brain and Ren and Stimpy and things like that. That's the sort of thing that they're looking for. 2-minute rough thumbnail storyboard. So they want to see how funny you can pull the characters around. So they are looking for a story in that 2 minutes, but they really want to see the extremes you can take those characters to so they look funny in pictures. Resume, credits, or links to online portfolio. I think you guys can almost ignore that, but just be completely honest with them. Say, this is my idea, I'm really into my idea, I've been doing art, I've been doing these things, I want to get into animation, these are my characters, and I have ambition to make shows. And then pitch materials can include other stuff. Now, character designs, rough sketches, so you can go as far as you want with this sort of thing. Character layout, so spins, rotate, background, scenery, links to more pitch content. So some people, some companies will be sending in huge amounts of stuff. You don't need to do that. If they find something in your idea they really like, I know the team at Nickelodeon, they find something in your characters and in your idea, then they will take it from that. Most important thing when trying to come up with ideas is research. So for Nickelodeon, look what's on their channel, look what's acceptable. So I'm sure if you guys have seen Nickelodeon and if you've seen Cartoon Network, I'm sure you can understand the slightly different things they're trying to do. And if you then compare that with what they can put on something like CBBC, where as soon as if there was a swear word or anything rude on CBBC, 1 million parents write in because they think they own the BBC because we pay taxpayers' money. So Cartoon Network gets away with the most, and they even push further into the Adult Swim stuff. Nickelodeon sits in the middle, and they used to have an awful catchphrase, which was fart plus heart equals smart. They dropped that, thank God, but that's what their mantra used to be. And if you think about it like that, so it's really kind of goofing off, which I'm sure you can see in things like SpongeBob, goofing off. So that's a really good thing. If you go on the website, Nickelodeon's website, the deadline for the submission for the tween one is very, very soon. It's going to be hard for you guys to get that in. That's on the 28th of March. But there is a preschool one, they're just opening. So if you have interesting ideas or characters for a younger audience, that's just opening, and I don't know when they close that. Again, look at what's on Nick Jr. and really work out, as creatives, we always like to go as far as we can. In fact, a show I'm about to show you got banned in America, so you'll see, it's a children's show, it got banned, so you'll see that when you push too far, things will just get removed. So I'm going to show you the thing that we pitched in and got made into a short series with them. It was called Stitch Up Showdown. Now originally, it was called Sturm und Drang, which I think, does anyone speak German? I think it's like storm and thunder and storm or something. Anyway, like I said, two diametrically opposed characters. So this one down here was kind of the short, annoying one that wanted everything done instantly. And this guy at the back here was kind of the cool, casual one. And the idea is that every week they would compete in a competition against each other, and because they're sock puppets, would pretty much end up ripping each other apart. So from that we did some concept sketches. I think our first show, the idea was surrounding eating disgusting things, so we had lots of different eating shots and just generally fighting and swearing up to each other. We had another idea about who could ride the most stupid vehicles, so we drew some of them riding chickens. And this is how we kind of wanted every episode to end up. They got ripped apart, and then we were going to have a little team of nurses that came and sewed them back together, but kind of fixed the arse on the head and another one's head on the arse and things like that. So when I'm talking about synopsis and how you explain a show, the best thing for us to do as an animation company who can produce stuff is show it in animation. So this is the length a company like ours will go to win a pitch. So you can kind of see what you're up against, but don't be put off by it.